We have a cast I think has more awards and more award nominations than any single cast we've ever put together. And the fact that they're all willing to suit up, to step into this very trippy world with us is a testament to both our director, Scott Derrickson, and the source material that it comes from.
It's utterly inspiring, the cast of this film. To be able to play off Tilda Swinton, Mads Mikkelsen, Reichelmcadams, and Chiwetel, it's really fantastic.
I think Marvel, they're always casting rocking people, to be honest.
To be part of the Marvel Universe is really exciting. You get to work with the best of the best in the world. Where are you going?
Greenwich Village, and the quickest way back there is through a dimensional gateway that I open up in the mop closet.
Rachel plays Dr. Christine Palmer, and we knew we needed to cast someone that could go toe-to-toe with Stephen Strange.
I have a very strict rule against dating colleagues.
Oh, really?
I call it the Strange policy.
Oh, well, good. I'm glad something's named after me.
An actress that could show, via the way she sees him, the better man that he could be. And that takes an actress of incredible skill and incredible weight.
I don't understand what's happening. I read a few of the comics. Scott, the director, pointed me towards The Oath. In particular, he thought that would be the most helpful for my character. There's definitely a pressure to get close to people's impression of what the character is. I think I'm fortunate in that she's kind of an amalgamation of a few women in the comics and Scott's own invention. For me, it was just sort of interesting to get to know where my character might, who knows, be headed.
Open your eye.
One of the biggest challenges, casting-wise, was the Ancient One. The Ancient One is a kind of a cliche by now. You know, the idea of the wizened old man on the hill.
I don't know that I've ever seen a version where the Ancient One's been not an ancient Tibetan man.
Thank you, Ancient One, for seeing me.
You're very welcome.
And yet, the Ancient One is so critical to the Doctor Strange mythology. You have to have the Ancient One.
Teach me.
No.
When you start to think about ethereal and enigmatic and ancient and warm and intelligent, Tilda Swinton just popped right to the top of our minds. And to her credit, she was down. She understood what we were going for, how it could be different, what she could bring to a role like this. She said, yeah, I'm in. Let's flip this on its head and try to come at it from a new way.
I'm generally of the belief that gender is in the eye of the beholder, and it's of less importance to the person being beheld than the person looking, very often. And this is a case in which that's true. We didn't want to pin it down to any specific Buddhism, specific gender. We wanted to free it up from any previous interpretation.
Well, heroes like the Avengers protect the world from physical dangers. We sorcerers safeguard it against more mystical threats.
Benedict Wong, I've made a few films with now, and I'm always very thrilled to see Benedict.
Mr. Strange.
Stephen, please. And you are?
Wow.
Wong.
It's weird having two Benedicts on a movie. That's rare.
Just Wong? Like Adele?
We knew we needed an actor who had that intellect and who had knowledge burning inside him. You felt like wherever he walked, he was carrying the history of this entire place with him.
During the 60s, Wong came across like a manservant sidekick. With our version, you know, we're happily updating this for a modern audience.
No one steps foot in this sanctum. No one.
You're looking for Kamatage.
When it came to casting Mordo, I just wanted to find an actor who could work at the deep levels that an actor like Benedict works at. As soon as Chiwetel came up, we all wanted him. He's so good and so complicated.
I think the way that he is constructed is somebody who's very loyal, very engaged, very powerful, and is a great defender of ideas. And that's something that's great to play, especially when some of those things get challenged by an outsider.
He's gone. Even Strange has left you and surrendered to his power.
In the comics, Mordo is to Doctor Strange what Moriarty is to Sherlock Holmes, the highly skilled, equal adversary. He has tremendous capabilities as a sorcerer.
Fight like your life depended on it!
Along with the qualities that draw him into evil.
Because one day, it may.
What I told Chiwetel was that I needed him to help me construct the character in such a way that we're not writing a villain. We're writing a character who does what he believes is right.
I cannot defeat them alone.
There's love and affection and respect there amongst these two men who would ultimately be warriors.
You still think there will be no consequences, Strange? No price to pay?
But in one of the greatest Marvel storylines of all time, Mordo betrays Strange. There's a fall.
The bill comes due. I will follow this path no longer.
And watching that fall is really heartbreaking and really fun to bring to the screen.
Master Caecilius, that ritual will bring you only sorrow.
Mads Mikkelsen is also in the film. I feel like he's so different in everything that he does, that he has a way of very subtly creating completely different internal universes for the characters that he plays.
You don't know how to use that, do you?
Mads Mikkelsen is a one-of-a-kind actor. He has an incredible presence, an incredible look, completely unique to himself. I can't think of anyone else in the history of cinema that is quite like Mads.
Mads Mikkelsen, he has brought a depth and dimension to his character. When you have an actor who can portray complexities that you understand are not just motivated by good and bad, it's something we as an audience can relate to a little bit more and understand a little bit more.
Caecilius is caught up on the wrong side of the river. He believes if he's going that way, the world will be much more beautiful and all his questions will be answered eventually. This world doesn't have to die, Doctor. This world can take its rightful place alongside so many others as part of the one, the great and beautiful one. We can all live forever. Most of us, we grew up with Marvel, right? And most of us see Marvel as a fantastic piece of art. So for us to be in one of the films is not only a childhood dream, it's also an adult dream. Because the stories are dealing with big questions. You know, who am I? What is the universe? Good and evil.
And action!
Just a little higher.
Being able to work with all those amazing actors just raises the stakes and allows the audience to suspend their disbelief.
One of the things that I think is great about Marvel movies is that you find yourself rooting for characters because you understand them. And it's not just that they are superheroes. You like them because of who they are, not sort of what they are.
You know, these things are fun enough in themselves, but when you've got a cast like that to play with, it's just bliss.
I think we're lucky to be the next band on the roster, and we're also psyched to be a part of it.
It's funny.
Doctor Strange is a movie we've wanted to make for a long time. It's been in the back of our minds really since Iron Man 1. So when we finally did say, we're making this movie, let's find the right filmmaker for it, there was a lot of people that came a-knocking. And so I ended up meeting a lot of people and a lot of talented people and a lot of great things to say. And Scott was among them, and he came after this with a passion and an excitement that we want to see in the filmmakers we hire.
Scott Derrickson has a great body of work, and like Joan Anthony Russo, like Joss Whedon, like Jon Favreau, like Kenneth Branagh, the best of the filmmakers we've worked with haven't necessarily done a film like the one we're asking them to do now, but they have done enough that they've shown they're incredibly talented. They have unique visions and a love of film and a love of pushing the boundaries of what a movie can be. When you look at Scott's work going back to the earliest days to his most recent films, he is always playing with genre. He's always subverting that genre. Sometimes he dives right into it. Sometimes he twists it. That's exactly what we love to do at Marvel. He was the guy to lead us through this journey of Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange has always been my favorite comic book character, not just in the Marvel universe, but in all of comics. Primarily, I think, because of the seriousness and gravity that the comic gave to the idea of mysticism. To be able to explore other dimensions and bring other dimensions into the cinema for audiences to experience. I mean, my God, what could be greater than that?
And then when you look at your hands, it's straight, yeah, like that.
Okay, let's shoot this, guys.
21 bacon, take one.
It's a well-oiled machine here. I mean, it doesn't ever feel like it's big. He's somehow made the set feel quite intimate. And I think his enthusiasm and passion for the Doctor Strange world is very evident.
I think Scott's one of the main reasons that this project attracted such a brilliantly talented cast. He's great on process. He's really good on going through great volume of detail about characterization. You really feel very safe in his hands about who you're playing and why you're playing what you're playing.
That's great. That looks really cool.
And all those kind of acting questions are very easy to talk to him about.
Whatever feels natural, we'll move to you. Okay. So don't worry about the camera in terms of just if there's a version of continuing to move that feels natural.
Yeah. He's very open to this sort of minutia that can sort of drive some directors mad, even within having to work on this extraordinary kind of epic visual scale and these incredibly complex and big ideas.
Freeze for a moment, and then I would drag it out slowly, and then you just slowly start to recoil from back away from him, and that gives us a nice cut.
A lot of the movie that we're making to this day were based out of those early conversations and ideas from Scott saying, you know what we should do? We should do this. And in ways that kind of cracked the story open for us, where we're like, oh, it took things that we were daunted by, that we knew would be tough to necessarily crack and figure out how to update for modern audiences, and sort of showed us the way. And that gave us a lot of confidence that not only do you have a lot of excitement and passion and enthusiasm for the project, you also had a ton of great ideas.
He's really infused it with a lot of humor and light touches as well. I mean, there's lots of explosions and fun things for the kids too, but I think it's got a maturity to it.
Teach me.
I get up every morning and I can't believe they're letting me do the things we're gonna do in this movie. Cut. Awesome. It's an attempt to create not only a broader universe for Marvel characters and Doctor Strange himself to inhabit, but it really is an attempt to push the ball forward when it comes to what audiences can expect to enjoy from tentpole movies. That's an ambitious goal, but that's what we're doing.